While Guyanese await a declaration of a president 151 days after casting their ballots, more sanctions have been levied against additional senior officials of Guyana by the United States, who, according to the Acting Assistant Secretary for U.S. Department of State's Bureau for Western Hemisphere Affairs, Michael Kozak, are responsible for or are complicit in undermining democracy in the country. The statement came to light via teleconference at a special briefing on the U.S. administration's efforts to promote democracy in the Western Hemisphere. The statement by the U.S. Department reads, on July 15, the Secretary announced the imposition of visa restrictions on individuals responsible for or complicit in undermining democracy in Guyana. Today, Thursday, we are acting to prevent additional senior individuals from that country, Guyana, from entering the United States. The Granger administration and its allies continue to defy the will of the Guyanese people by refusing to accept the vote recount. The count has been certified as valid by international observers, OAS, and CARICOM, Guyana's and the Caribbean's highest courts. The United States joins the rest of the region in refusing to go along with this farce. We will continue to act until the Granger administration accepts the will of the Guyanese voters. This statement comes just one day after the Court of Appeal unanimously dismissed the case brought before it by the APNU AFC, seeking to overturn the ruling of the Chief Justice, Madam Roxanne George, who had ruled that the recount figures were credible enough to be used as basis for a declaration of the results of the 2020 elections held on March 2nd. The APNU AFC were in disagreement, citing that Order 60 of 2020 and Section 22 of the Election Laws Amendment Act were in tension with the Constitution on the basis of separation of powers and therefore challenged the ruling via the Court of Appeal. Also reiterating his call for a declaration of the results of the 2020 elections to be announced soon is the Secretary General of the Organization of American States, Luis Almagro, who, via Twitter, posited, the right of appeal is a privilege that should not be abused, especially in deferring the will of the people. Guyana has spoken. GCOM must declare results based on the recount. Just recently, a number of countries called on the incumbent administration to concede and allow for the transition of power in a peaceful and democratic manner. On the heels of the case dismissal by the Court of Appeal, the President, David Granger, via a press statement had said he will stand by the ruling of the court as well as the decision of the elections body in declaring a winner. Meanwhile, senior party member of the coalition, Joseph Harmon, who also released a statement subsequent to the court's ruling, made it pellucid that the coalition is firm in its position that only valid votes must be counted and used to form a declaration of results. The multi-party coalition had been sounding their voices, asserting that the 2020 election was marred in fraud, which was only uncovered through the national recount exercise. The country now awaits results 151 days later in the face of a growing pandemic. Wendell Badrie for HGP Nightly News.